Hello, my friends. Today I have with us the Sieg Springer from Hexa Gear from Kotobukiya. This guy is awesome. And before I do anything else, I actually wanted to do the size comparison. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out some of my stuff and we'll see how that works. So y'all know I love to pull out my Gundam first. So this guy is pretty big. And this is your high grade Gundam. Just like the size of this guy is just so big. I kind of want to make him ride it. So maybe I'm going to do that real quick. Alright, so just showing that this massive horse can hold your Gundam. That's always going to be a good deal. So I can see a lot of customs coming up in the future with this in mind. Up next here we have the Alto from the 30-minute missions line. Size comparison, he looks like he's quite a bit shorter than the Gundam, but they still have a very good size correlation. And actually, I just thought about it. I don't have him standing upright, so he might actually be taller than this if I were to stretch his legs out. But still. Now, I don't think I'm actually going to get these two to mount this guy, but here's from Kotobukiya, the Jinrai from the Frame Arm series, and the massive Alex Gundam in Master Grade. And another who I opted to have riding was Architect from the Frame Arms Girl series. She's probably a bit too big, but that doesn't say that you can't actually do this. A robotic horse would be just as sturdy as a real one, I think. But this was meant for a 124 scale kit. So last in size comparison is going to be... So the last comparison is of all these guys. So I got my number 57 core body. I got the alternative Jester, number 57 Yui, Frame Arms Girl hand scale Innocentia, and the intended rider for this one, the Ignite Spartan. So as you can see, they are all quite a bit smaller than this one. For something that's intended to be 124 scale, that would be a massive horse, honestly. I think maybe a little bit too big, but I really love that because it is a mecha horse. Who cares what the size is, really? Let me go ahead and show off what this thing can do. So if you've seen my channel before, you know that I like to show off some of the articulation in these kits. That's going to be a little difficult for this one, but I am going to do my best. If I forget any of the parts that do articulate, please let me know in the comments. You guys probably are more expert on this stuff than I am. So starting at the head, there is a simple articulation on a ball joint right here. This one is also articulated on a very small ball joint that pegs into the top of his head, and it can be removed and moved to other 3mm ports, which there are plenty of. This one also has the same type of articulation and is actually on a small pivot point as well. So you get more articulation out of that one. Going from there, you have the neck, which has a swivel here, and that is simple 2 pegs inside the 2 parts right here. You can actually move that one up and down as well, so it is a universal joint. From there, you have the shoulders, and the shoulders actually mount all the way up here, so you can move you can move the front legs quite a bit forward, quite a bit back. And you can lose parts because that is something that happens to this part in particular, at least for me. You have a ball joint in here. Actually, it's not a ball joint. It's just a cylinder, a peg that goes into this section here. This section can move outwards a bit and then back in. And you have a rotation here. This is also a peg that goes into the top of the leg, so you can move that one outward. In total, you can combine this quite a bit to make some interesting and very dynamic poses for like a pounce or something like that. There is another peg here. Actually, there's a peg in here that goes into this port. So that can actually rotate as well, but it is mostly contained within this part. So you're not going to get too much rotation. In fact, you're only going to get maybe 1 millimeter out of that one. But that does enable you to rock this one back and forth quite a bit. And then here, there's also another joint here. So you can get him to, go ahead and rear his foot up. And then a ball joint at this section here actually ports into the bottom of his foot. And that gives you quite a lot of flexibility to where you can put his hoof. Now the hoof isn't intended to be articulated here, but you can rock that just a bit, but you will lose some of the stability of the parts coming together. So I just leave that one alone. In that section, you got the shoulders. Like I said, they do move quite a bit. There is also another joint here that I forgot about that actually lifts up. You've got the seat section that can move up and down, and these, I forget what they call, stirrups, actually move back and forth as well, so you can move those to get your character's foot exactly where you need it to be, who's riding it. You also get a movable section in here, just goes up and down. The back section here rotates and moves up and down. Actually, no, it just rotates. So this back section just rotates, but that gets you, if you want to do a sharp turn, or you want to go bucking, you can do that with your horse. I'm not going to go down to the leg yet. We want to go back up here. So you can see these captured hexagons here. They allow you to articulate this section here. These actually bend out this way, and that's both of these. These can also rotate for whatever needs you have for this thing, which is a tail or a wing section, and I'll show you more about that later. And then there is this scorpion tail, which is hidden underneath, and this can actually plug into the back of your governor to help mount him to the seat. So you get a rotation in there on the peg, but mostly it's just this here. Moving back to the leg, so you get the peg section right here. So of course you get a full 360-degree rotation. You get the pivot in and out here, so you can get that more dynamic look, ready to pounce. Nothing in this section except for this at the bottom, where your leg is going to rock back and forth. Keep it up close here, it looks a lot better. And then this section also has that same articulation. And then we're back down to the bottom where you have your ball joint, same as the front section. So that covers the articulation. Now I wanted to show you a couple other things that this thing comes with. There isn't much in the terms of accessories, but there are these really cool little effect parts, and these actually plug into any 3mm peg, but they are designed for these here. So you stick them in there, and you have a nice thrust effect on those tails. So you can use them similar to wings. If you were to, look at this. Pulled this fence right out. So you spread that out, kind of like this, and you have that sort of Pegasus feel now. Really cool. The only downside to this, and it's a weird one, but hear me out, is if you do that, then the horse doesn't have a tail. Because if you were to spread those out there, now the horse is tailless. Suppose you could use this scorpion attachment to, kind of fill that in. But no, we're not going to do that, not today. So that's one of the options that you have for if you want to use those. The other is an odd one. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to... Oop, that's too far. I don't want to do that. What you're going to want to do is you pull that right out. Sorry about the noise. I actually just scraped up my diorama display here. It's always fun. You want to take his head off, and you're going to take this part that they have you build, and you're going to plug this in. And you're not going to want to do it upside down like I just did. You're going to want to do it right side up. And what this does is it lets you mount your governor right here up front. And so doing that, you have a sort of centaur feel. I'm going to go ahead and put one on here. Let's see. My Spartan Ignite. You can go right in here. So you see he can fit in pretty well. And that gives the whole thing a different feel in terms of looks. Obviously with him slouched over like that, it's not as effective, but it's definitely a cool one. Now, you could be more clever than me, or more dexterous, because I'm actually holding the phone recording here, but it doesn't look bad, not at all. It's very interesting, actually. And, of course, that frees his back, so you can put weapons mounts here, or you can put another one of your soldiers here. So he'll take the place of whatever is driving this thing and become one with the beastie, which is really cool. Let me see something real fast. Right, so as I thought, you can actually pull the scorpion tail off. I keep calling it that. And that plugs in right here to give you a bit better of a mounting point for the man who can still stay on his horse. Maybe if I can get that in there. That's the hardest time I've ever had plugging a Hexa Gear character in. Anyways, plug that back down. That gives you a more firm mounting point for your guy. And I'm going to put that thing back on, whether it kills me or not. There you go. So there's his shield there. So if you guys have seen the review on this guy, actually, he does have a massive oversized weapon and shield. I'm tempted to put that on him real quick to show what that looks like on here. I'll definitely park it on his back because that is how he is intended to be. But I'm going to do this one first. So, all right, so we definitely stumbled across a really cool look. Obviously, this is the character intended to be riding on this thing. But look at the size of that freaking lance. I love it. So let's turn him over. You can see it's a very aggressive pose with that long pole arm. Why is it not focusing proper? There we go. So yeah, that's a definite look. Now I'm going to put this head back on and put this guy on his back mount where he's supposed to be. Alright, and here he is sitting on horseback, looking really cool there. I think that lance it's just incredible. I know people think it's a little over the top, and I totally get that, but it is one cool weapon. Thing is about these guys, it's pretty delicate. He wants to fall apart if I shake him too hard. Not like pieces falling off, but you can see the shaking. It doesn't really want to stay put. And then the pose, I gave him pretty rocky terrain. This thing has had better days. It got pretty moist here in the summer and kind of warped my little dial. So he's not exactly on even footing, but I think that is a really cool look. I really like the way this horse and his mount, or the character and his mount, look together. I think this is really good. Man, now I want to get the Queen's Guard version. Have you all seen that one? I'm going to put that here on the video. You guys will see the Queen's Guard and the Queen's Guard version of this Sieg Springer. Really cool. But the newest one that I want, the newest one I really want is the Messer floats. Someone in my Discord server well, not my Discord server, in the M Hobbies TV server just got some Messer floats, and man, those things are looking cool. So I'm gonna put a picture of those ones up real fast. Boy, man, Kotobukiya really wants my money. But I will say that I really appreciated the build on this one. It was a lot of fun to do. It's different in a really good way compared to your Gundam and your Mecha, like your 30-minute missions or your Model Kit Girls even. These are vastly different than anything you've built before. So I definitely recommend a Hexa Gear kit. In particular, this one. This one is much more sturdy than the other one that I built, the Voltrex. The Voltrex is a beautiful machine, but I wouldn't recommend that one for a beginner, even though that is where it's aimed for, the beginners of this line. But I think this one in particular, it's not too expensive. I think it's like $40, maybe $50. I don't remember what I paid for him. How awesome is that, huh? But it's around that price, and it is definitely a fun, super fun build. And look at the result. That is just such a cool looking creature, and I think it is a winner for sure. So it's a must-have for me. Look at the size of this thing. It's just huge. Well, in any case, I think that's it for my review. I'd like to say thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time, or you'll see me, but more than likely, you'll see my stuff. Have a good day.